Stanley Pringle, only 5 points so far in this game.
Which is amazing, you know, but now you have to wonder, starting both of them, see, sometimes chemistry is so important. Starting both of them in the beginning of the ball game, start of the second half, is it good for Globalport as a team? Is it good for the chemistry? Because last conference, Stanley Pringle was coming off the bench.
Gilchrist with a rebound. Gilchrist forcing, bumping, and finishing.
Just like that was, he worked really hard for that shot.
Yes. Yo, on the other end. Bante na ng 8 itong Mahindra enforcer. Pringle, 2 of 9 from the field, only 5 points. Stanley dropping it off. Billy Moms got it in.
Like I said, it just reinforces you're struggling offensively, make plays. Stanley Pringle hasn't been scoring that much, but he made a great play, finding Billy Mamaril for the jump shot.
Mike DiGregorio will head to the free throw line as he is fouled. Right now, we hand you on over to Ms. Riza Diaz.
Aaron, mula kay Coach Chito Victorero, he's liking the energy. Ang gusto nga niya ay masustain nila to, but more so of skills. Ang sabi niya sa enforcers, it's all about the mental toughness. Lalong-lalo na on defense because Globalport will not hand it to us. We have to take it from them. From salita nga ni Marky, one of their veterans, hindi nila ibibigay ito. Kailangan kunin natin. They were also talking to their import and they want him to just stay aggressive. Wag daw mag-hesitate. Trust your instincts and just go with the flow. Aaron.
Thanks for that report, Riza. That's a good way of taking the pressure off of your import.
Yeah, no, I agree, though. He is hesitating, especially when he gets up in the air. You know, it's part of an indication is not putting enough or putting too much on that ball.
Binalik na ngayon ni Coach Pido Arencio itong si Terrence Romeo. At agad-agad naman na minarkaan na siya ni Mike DiGregorio. Terrence fall away, no good. Difficult shot. Chito Jaime with the rebound. Canaleta, binalik na ni Coach Chito Victorero. Sa loob, Gilchrist against Kramer. Will throw it in.
Great high-low play by Mahindra. It's there. Gilchrist doing a really good job pivoting, getting that shot off.
Stanley with a jumper. Didn't know if he wanted to go off the board or go straight in, so not able to put that one in for Globalport. Chito Jaime, sumaksak. Nasupalpal nga lang ni Billy Mamaril. Pringle for 3. Rebound for Canaleta. A double-digit advantage again. 10-point lead, 88-78. Mike DiGregorio, babalik na naman po sa ating free throw line to try and push this up to 12.
I'm still thinking about that rotation. Stanley Pringle, Terrence Romeo starting together. And sometimes it doesn't work. That reminds me way back in the day, old Pop Cola days, Sunkiss days, where you had Brahel Meneses and Kenneth Duremdes.
Yes.
You could not start both of them. You know, it was just really hard for them to play together, and one had to come off the bench. Now, maybe they're trying to get them used to playing with one another in that starting 5. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on, but maybe that's one of the reasons why Stanley Pringle's having a hard time getting off in this game. It should be fun. Military obstacle course.
They did ask me if I wanted to join that.
You didn't want to?
I said that my athleticism is nowhere near
It is a
possible.
different type of athleticism.
Yes. My athleticism is for watching basketball games. Offensive foul right now, and the ball will switch sides back to Mahindra.
I mean, I'm not trying to race anybody. I'm not trying to beat the time.
I love the disclaimer.
I said I'll participate. That doesn't mean I'm going to go out there and really try to bust my butt.
You gotta make all those sportscasters look good, you know?
I'm going to give it effort.
I gave it thought, and it didn't really go very well. Gilchrist in the post now. Kontra sa kanyang counterpart, si Brian Williams. No good. Rebound on, foul rather on the rebound. It will be on Chito Jaime.
Number 28, Chito Jaime. His first foul, first team foul for Mahindra.
Aaron Ataide, Ali Peak po inyong kasama. Ms. Riza Diaz working the court side. And Mahindra up by 12. Pero marami pa rin pong oras dito para sa Philippine Cup semi-finalist na Globalport Batang Pier. Foul is called. Billy Mamaril will head to the free throw line for 2 charities. And going back to your point, where playing Pringle and Romeo together, is it a case of maybe a third option would make things easier?
I'm not
Kind of
sure.
like how like a coach would change things. And right now, let's send you on over to Ms. Risa Diaz before we
Aaron
head on
just
back.
on Billy Mamaril because I spoke with him earlier, and according to him, after 4 months of suffering from back spasms that just won't go away, he's feeling so much better today. What he did was take some medication and, of course, change his diet. Then after which, again, those back spasms are gone. But what's bothering him is more of the mental aspect of it, the psychological effect that every now and then his back would hurt and he would favor some moves. But nevertheless, he's just in better shape. Aaron.
Thank you for that report, Riza. Wishing Billy Mums a speedy recovery, of course. You know it's like to be playing with some back issues.
You know, you constantly think, well, it ruins your jumping ability and your movement. And, you know, you may be feeling well. Brian Williams make a strong move to the basketball. You may be feeling well, and then through the course of the game or through the course of practice, you feel one small twitch in your lower back, then it just changes everything. And all of a sudden, you think you don't have as much confidence. But I totally understand what Billy Mamaril is talking about.
As Brian Williams makes that one. Going back to the question a while ago, could a third option, the same way that there's a Draymond Green with Clay and, you know, Stephen Curry, or is it the system, maybe a third member?
It's really, and I'm only speculating, but I mean, I just know through the history, you know, the last conference and the conference before that, Stanley Pringle would come off the bench. He was one of the first options off the bench. And then you had 2 guys, whether he came off the bench, whether he started or not, you had 2 guys averaging over 20 points. And they were winning games.
Gilchrist right now. Kontra kay Williams. That is a foul on the grab by Brian Williams. Pangatlo pa lang yan para sa import ng Globalport. Carl Dehesa, binalik ni Coach Chito Victorero. Siyam pa rin pong abante ng Mahindra. At nasa kanya pa rin pong possession. Dehesa is joined by De Gregorio, Pinto, Aldrich Ramos, and Gilchrist. De Gregorio with it now with 8 minutes to go. Mike De Gregorio with the spin, not able to finish. Ball tapped out, and it will go back to Globalport.
You like the aggressiveness by De Gregorio and earlier by Gilchrist. Unable to convert, but you know what? Get back on defense, play defense, make good decisions.
Williams inside. Has it now, out to Yo. Yo driving, dishing, Williams fouled. Fifth foul now para sa import ng Mahindra na si AG Gilchrist. So Williams missing the first. Bradwin Ginto about ready to check back in. And you take a look now at this man of action, and it's brought to you by Stanley Hand Tools and Power Tools. Performance in action.
And sometimes when you can't get anything out of the post, in this case for Brian Williams, hey, get into the pick and roll action. You know, Joseph Yo recognizing that, being able to free up Brian Williams. Now he went to the free throw line. However, he was unable to convert on those 2 free throws.
Dehesa driving. Short there, and Carl Dehesa still drive from the field. Romeo to Williams. Kicks it out. Pringle for 3. Got it. And that 3-point shot was brought to you by Oppo F1 selfie experts.
You know, one of the things that I'm really impressed with Brian Williams is his ability to pass and recognize, you know, when he's in trouble or when the defense is collapsing, finding the open man.
Baba na lang sa 6 yung abante ng Mahindra. Ginto, jumper, no. Rebound for Meyerhofer. At tumatakbo na naman ng Globalport. Terrence against Dehesa. Pull-up jumper is in. And just like that, the lead is back down to 4.
If Globalport can come out of this, and, you know, as the conference progresses, Brian Williams will find his comfort zone with this team.
Dehesa screaming out for some movement. Finally, 4 on the shot clock now, though, for Mahindra. Revilla with 1 on the clock has to throw it up. There's a foul bailout on Terrence Romeo, and that will be foul number 3 on TR7.
We've been talking about Terrence Romeo and his moves to the basket, but LA Revilla's got some moves for himself, and he's talking about the quickness at both of these guys. You know, you could argue that LA Revilla is giving Terrence Romeo fits on the offensive end, on the defensive end.
Revilla acting like a fire extinguisher every time Globalport makes a run.
Whether it's in the assist, the kick out, or attacking the basket.
He's been doing it all game. Brian Williams sa poste ngayon kontra kay Brad Ginto. Williams, linabas. Romeo, pull up for 3. Oh, Terrence Romeo, 38 points now. And that 3-point shot is brought to you by Oppo F1 Selfie Expert.
I mean, he's just making plays. He's making really good plays.
Carl Dehesa now making that 3, yes.
You know, at some point, that offense is going to come back to you.
Joseph Yo now for 3. No. Rebound for Mark Yee. 5.5 to go. Revilla with it now. Pick from Yee. L.A. Revilla dishing it out. Dehesa sidestepping, driving, finishing.
The way they ran that offensive set there, I mean, probably wasn't even an offense, just dribble drive, but they made good decisions.
Pringle with it now. Nahanap si Yo. Joseph dishing out. Romeo for 3 again. No. And then, of course, you see Terrence Romeo is currently leading with the most yes shots, followed by Stanley Pringle, Joseph Yo, and L.A. Revilla. Pwede pa kayo mag-shout for your favorite players. Just visit sports5.ph and look for the shout tab to vote the player with the most yes shouts by the end of the game. Ang gagawin nating Shouter's Choice Player of the Game, and we will announce it on sports5.ph. Another 3-pointer, this time Aldrich Ramos from beyond the arc. 100-89 Mahindra, again stopping all of that fire coming out of Globalport.
That's just because they're doing a really good job executing offensively. Everyone's getting involved, and more importantly, whoever's open and gets that kick out or that drop pass, they're knocking down their shots.
It's hard to sleep when you got to play against those 3 teams the night before. That's not easy.
It's not an easy task.
And you got to go through this game first.
Yes, and then the last game on that schedule are the defending champs.
Yes. So. Pringle. Pass is stolen away by Revilla. Up ahead, Dehesa with no good on the finish, but could not hold on to the rebound was Mamaril.
And you look at the body language and the enthusiasm of this Mahindra team, you know. L.A. Revilla, Carl Dehesa unable to convert on that, but L.A. Revilla just kind of smiling and laughing at both, you know, saying, hey, don't worry about it. I mean, the energy is there.
You can see it.
Positive energy.
Reflecting here on the scoreboard. Tignan natin ulit. Look at Revilla spinning. Then Dehesa could not finish, but Mamaril, Revilla to inbound. Finding Dehesa. Timeout called by Coach Chito Victorero. 4:12 remaining. 11 pa rin pong abante ng Mahindra.
Kali ko mag-inbound. LA here ha, pag ganon ha. Pag ganon, si LA. LA pag ganon, labas ka no. Labas ka, and then hand off. Hand off. Hand off, balikan mo. Balikan mo.
Tatlong susunod na laro para sa Mahindra. They take on Blackwater on Sunday. Then next Saturday in Binyan, Laguna, kontra naman sa San Miguel Beerman. And then back to the Araneta Coliseum they come for the NLEX Road Warriors.
Slightly easier.
But I mean,
But,
today
yeah.
shows that any team.
Exactly. You know, especially in the PBA, especially in the conference, we got a single round robin.
As Revilla not able to finish there. Romeo on the other end, no good either. Ginto, naghahanap ng kasama. Dehesa says, sandali, ayusin muna natin ang ating opensa. Gumamit muna tayo ng oras.
It's just the right decision by Dehesa. Hey, let's set it up. Let's get something good out of this.
Rather, Dehesa with a jumper is in, and he got that offense to go in the fourth quarter when it was needed the most.
3 clutch shots by Carl Dehesa. Like I said, your skill, your offense is going to come back at some point in the game. What better time than end of the fourth quarter?
Romeo rejected. And Mark Yee immediately saying sorry and pulling up Romeo on the other end. And Revilla will set up the offense now. 3 minutes to go. Revilla kontra kay Pringle. Yee is fouled by Romeo. Pang-apat na yan ni Terrence Romeo.
Foul on number 7, Terrence Romeo, penalty. That's his 4th foul. 2 free throws for Mark Yee.
Mark Yee, and you see there, block by Mark Yee. And he heads to the free throw line for 2 charities. Interestingly enough, the reason why Mahindra was up at the half was KG Canaleta, 20 points. So far, we have not seen it.
Yeah, that, you know, again, the team effort by Mahindra has really stepped up in this ball game. You know, they've done a really good job tonight.
L.A. Revilla with 15 points, Carl Dehesa with 12 points. You know, a lot of players picking up a lot of slack when it was needed. Stanley Pringle able to pull 2 points back para sa Globalport. Gilchrist nag-aanda na pong pumasok muli para sa Mahindra. 2 minuto na lang pong naiiwan sa ating laro. Dehesa against Jensen, rejected by Brian Williams. Up ahead, here comes Stanley. As Revilla, that's a deliberate foul. You can't do that.
You can't just grab somebody. You got to go for or you got to make it seem like you're going for the
ball,
basketball.
yeah. So that will mean 2 free throws plus ball possession.
Plus ball possession, and you know, like we said, anything can just a simple twist or change can change the outlook of this basketball game.
And we don't really see many mental lapses from L.A. Revilla.
I mean, overall, I think that was a good foul.
Yes.
You know? But of course, the way the rules are today, you can't do something like you got to go for the ball.
Sometimes you forget that. You're so used to it.
Exactly.
2 free throws for Stanley Pringle.
As Pringle gets the first. And he has 1 more coming. 10-point advantage now for Mahindra. Romeo with it now. It is with Stanley Pringle. Stolen away, no, retaken back by Pringle. Stanley kicks it out. Romeo for 3, no! Rebound for Carl Dehesa. As our last 2 minutes are brought to you by Cobra. Ilabas ang tunay na lakas. Cobra, gusto ko pa.
Looks like Stanley Pringle hurt himself on that last offensive set.
Yee sa poste. Kontra kay Romeo. Up fake. Got it.
This is just so tough for a player like Terrence Romeo. He's got to score, but then he also has to defend. A mismatch he's taking advantage of there.
Yee with the steal. 90 seconds remaining. Mahindra, the entire bench on their feet. Yee kontra kay Jensen. Yee Rejected by Williams, but still able to score. And Romeo completing that one. 39 points na po para kay Terrence. You see the NLEX Road Warriors looking on. They're coming up next kontra sa Barangay Ginebra San Miguel. Romeo at the free throw line. Got it. 41 points now for Terrence Romeo.
Amazing.
Yi. Now to Revilla.
And all they got to do is just take care of the basketball.
11 pa rin ang abante ng Mahindra. Revilla driving, dishing. Yi again, hoop and the harm.
And you know, that wouldn't have happened had it not been for LA Revilla penetrating and just dishing the ball off, which he's been doing the entire game. I mean, here it is, the crossover, leaves Terrence Romeo behind, and a nice drop pass to Mark Yi with the and one.
Yi now with 11 points in this game and a 13-point advantage para sa Mahindra Enforcer. Pringle. Out to Williams. Taha with the jumper is in. Jehesa with it. Pinoble. And he calls a timeout.
When he attacked the basket, we also saw him get a little bit physical underneath the basket. He almost had a dunk getting one of the drop passes. So he does have that capability.
So Revilla is fouled, and that will mean free throws for LA Revilla.
I mean, just going back to the import, Augustus Gilchrist, I mean, what is his stats are what, under 10 points, what we read. And, you know, sometimes when you're playing overseas, we know he played in Hungary. I don't know what his stats were there, but sometimes you're only required to not do so much.
Yes.
I mean, you're only required, you know, he had averaged 9 points, 10 points. Okay, that's what the team wants. Sometimes when you get put in a situation, let's say the PBA, where you're required to play more minutes because you are the only import. Other countries, you might be the 4th import or the 3rd import. So it is an adjustment.
Romeo inside. Brian Williams could not hold on. De Gregorio with it, and Mahindra will sail on in to win number 1 here in the 2016 Oppo PBA Commissioner's Cup. A huge win for the Enforcer, and Globalport will start their campaign with a loss, and their schedule does not get any easier from here on out.
Well, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what exactly happened. I guess a plus is Jay Wash will be back, but if you're Coach Peter Horencio, you got to be a little bit concerned because this should have not happened tonight.
This is a team that went all the way into the semifinals in the Philippine Cup, now falling to Mahindra.